Hi, so welcome to a quick theory lesson on the types of time, or the kinds of time, sorry. Two kinds of time, simple time and compound time. And that's the majority of things we play in pipe band drumming falls into simple time or compound time. So when it's simple time, it's a note, or a simple beat note is a note which is divisible by two or more notes of equal lesser value. Okay, so for example, a simple note could be a crotchet. So if you split a crotchet in half, you get two quavers, don't you? Yeah? So again, if I was to do another simple note, let's say a semiquaver, that's a simple note because I can split that semiquaver in half and get two demi-semiquavers. Okay, so that is what simple time is, or a simple notes when they can be split in half, and the two notes which are split in half are the same, they're the exact same. So if you can't split 5 in half, for example, because you need a 2 and a 3. Okay, so if you're thinking of it in numbers, 5 would be a compound number, or a number that can't be squared. 2 is, split 2 in half, you get 2 ones. Split 6 in half, you get 2 threes. Okay, so that's a way of thinking about it in numbers. When a note is in compound time, or it's a compound beat note, it needs to be split in 3 parts. So you know a crotchet, when you split it in half, equals 2 quavers. A semiquaver, when you split it in half, equals 2 demi-semiquavers. So for it to be in compound time, the note has to have a dot after it. And think back to the lesson we've done on lengthening and shortening notes, and we spoke about what a dot does to a note. If you think back to it, a dot increases the note's value by half of its original value. So say we had the crotchet there, that's it there without the dot, equaled 2 quavers. So the dot equals one of those quavers. So if I split that note down, your crotchet is 2 quavers, and the dot is where you get your third quaver from. So the value of that note is the same as 3 quavers. So that is how we split it down 3 ways. So that is basically a compound note. And if we do the same with, let's say, we'll do the same as we had there. So semiquaver, but it's a dotted semiquaver. So we've got the semiquaver, the exact same one, split in half equals 2 demi-semiquavers. 1, boom, boom. Remember your demi-semiquaver was a filled in note head, a stem and 3 tails. And the dot would give you your third demi-semiquaver. Okay? So you've got semiquaver, split in half, equals to 2. The dot gives you the third. Okay? So those are simple and compound notes. So you could theoretically say any simple time note, if you put a dot after it, would become a compound time note. Yeah? Maybe a wee bit tricky to follow there, but when you're writing music, everything becomes a lot easier, and it's one of these ones you kind of need to put into practice. Okay, so when you're writing music, everything here will make so much more sense to you. Plus, in person, we can break it down as well. This is just a nice wee snippet to kind of try and keep you right, okay? So sticking with simple and compound time, let's think of some simple time signatures. So simple time is when the beat note is divisible by 2 notes of equal lesser value. So we know that the beat note has to be a crotchet or a quaver, for example. So let's do a crotchet here. So what was the fractional value of the crotchet again? It was a quarter. Okay, so we could say straight away that the bottom number of that is going to be a 4 of our time signature. So depending how many crotchets we have, say it's 2, then the time signature is 2-4. If there's 3 of them, then the time signature becomes 3-4. And if there's 4 of them, then the time signature becomes 4-4. You see that? So our simple time signatures were 2-4, 3-4 and 4-4. And I'm going to rub that out just to avoid confusion. So compound time signatures, this is where it becomes slightly trickier, okay? Because we're dealing with crotchets again, being the beat note, and you'll think to yourself, well, that's a 4, okay? But remember we spoke about compound beat note being dotted so it can split into 3 equal parts, okay? You can't really give a dotted crotchet a fractional value because it doesn't have one, okay? So we need to split that down. You've got quaver, quaver, quaver. So there's 3 quavers, and remember the fractional value of the quaver was an 8th note. So let's say we do another one. Okay, so it's the exact same as that. Quaver, quaver, quaver. So when we're figuring out what time signature it is, the bottom figure, the bottom figure becomes the fractional value. So you'll see an 8. Okay? And the majority of compound time signatures, in fact all sort of basic compound time signatures, the bottom number is going to be an 8. So straight away I've got 8 being the fractional value of the quaver. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got 6 quavers there. So that's a 6/8. Yeah? If I was to put a third one in, and I'm not going to do the quavers underneath because I've not enough room, that now becomes a 9/8, because you would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 quavers. And if I put the 4th one in, the time signature now, surely you've guessed it, would be 12/8. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 8th notes. Okay? And you'll very, very rarely see drum scores written with all the quavers like that in beats. Okay? That's the beat notes there. So again, 12/8, 4 beats per bar, and each beat is a dotted crotchet. Another way you can remember it is if somebody says how many beats are there per bar in a 12/8, if you can't remember that it's 4, you know that the value of the beat note in compound time is always divisible by 3. Just divide 12 by 3, and what do you get? You get 4, don't you? Okay. So same if I was to say, what is the value? What is that time signature? You'd be like, well, is it 3/8? Well, no, it's not 3/8. All right, it's those ones are all split into 3 parts. So 3, 6, 9, 9/8. And then if I get rid of this one, it's not going to be a 2/8. It's going to be 3, 6, 6/8. And of course, I remember when I was learning about musical theory, compound time for me was easy to play because that's what we use for playing 6/8 marches and jigs. Okay, we use compound time. Reading it and playing it was very easy, but understanding the theory of it was pretty tricky. And it was only until I started writing music that I really understood what simple and compound time even were when I was writing out the music and I was having to use the time signatures to tell me how many beats should be in the bar. And then I knew that if it was compound time, they were split in 3 parts, but even then it still didn't really make sense until I was writing out the music and figuring it out, knowing that the dot increases the value of a note, that a cut decreases the value of a note. All these things kind of helped put it into place. And as always, at the end of this lesson on this video, I'll put up a few wee slides and talk about them on the pictures. Okay?